Hello! Thank you for being here. Welcome. My name is Emily. I am a knitter, crocheter, maker. I am in Orlando, Florida, and this is a vlog to share my making with you. So I love to share mostly my knitting, but I will show you right now. I just got into, excuse my pimple, I received a special Christmas gift. So should have had this prepared. I am going to interlace some clips of my spinning. I just got a drop spindle for Christmas, and yesterday was my first day experimenting with it. This is what I made. The fiber and whole kit is from Pancake and Lulu. Here is my fiber that I have right now. I started using this side, mostly the purples. And then, so that's what this is. This is a lot of the purples and a little bit blue. And then just now I started spinning from this side, the pink. So just to get a little, and it took me like hours. I mean, mainly because I was watching a million tutorials and getting used to it and figuring it out. But this little bit took me hours, but it is double plied. I double plied it and I'm very excited about it. It's really pretty. So I just picked it up again a little bit ago and I'm going to keep going. Let me show you what I have so far. This is my drop spindle. I like there you go. It's kind of pink. It's pink fiber pretty much. I like the thinner. So this is a very pretty thin and thick yarn. I like the thinner, I think. The only reason I would do thick really is, well, either A, unintentional, or B, for like a kaleidoscope cardie. I made one with Knit Collage's yarn, but Kaleidoscope Cardie is a pattern from Knit Collage. And they use a lot of like thick and thin chunky yarns. So I would use it for there, but being in a warm climate, I'm thinking the thinner the better. Especially like even if this looks really thin, I think I will double ply it. I don't know that I will try like 3 or 4 plying on a drop spindle, but who knows? This is only been a second day. It's only my day 2 of spinning, but yeah, there's day 1's progress. I spun it and then I single plied it, obviously, and then I just did it like pulled from each end of the ball and double plied it, so it was like 1 ball's worth of yarn. And if you see in my clips that are going over this talk, if you see toilet paper ball all in the background, the toilet paper roll is what I'm spinning this onto. I don't have a proper like not spindle, but I don't have a proper, whatever they're called, the things that you wind it onto, like a nitty knotty or anything like that, or a ball winder. So I'm just hand winding it onto a paper towel roll for now, till I get more high tech. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm already really liking what I'm doing today. This is fun. I'm really like a warm toned. I have a lot of blue clothes, but the colors I gravitate towards are the reds and the corals. Like that's my vibe, is really the coral, which doesn't really have that color. It's just pink, purple, and blue mainly. But yeah, so I'm interested to see how this pinky color turns out. And I don't know what I'll do with it, but I don't think I need to know right now. And like I said, my original goal was like, before I started this and realized how long it took and stuff, was like anytime they asked for a spin cycle or something or a color changing yarn, I would love to use my own hand spun. But how do I figure out what weight of yarn how to make it a weight of yarn? I think it would just be like a guess. Again, this is very thick and thin. But in the future, I don't know, maybe I could make it like a fingering or a DK weight or something, and it would fit in decently in sweaters. Don't know. That is all in the learning process. There we go. Happy making. Alright, here is my wound up skein ball thing. And it's not a lot, but I'm gonna go to bed. This is just single ply. And I'm not sure if I'll ply it on itself or on what I have left. I used pretty much all the pink here for the most part. I finished something! It's just another 3x1 ribbed hat. This color is terrible because my lighting is terrible, but it's brown. It's just Lion Brand. And I'll send it off to my dad or brother at some point when I finish some other family knits probably. So that's done. I made it pretty much on my lunch breaks and stuff, so I really enjoyed knitting instead of just scrolling through my phone on my lunch breaks, so I probably will make a few more or bring some other hat patterns to make. It is the new year. It's January 2nd. Happy New Year to everyone. And thank you for being here, of course. So I didn't look back to this is my first full year of podcasting. I really enjoyed in 2021 focusing more on making for myself or my family gifts that I want to make and aren't. I turned my hobby into a business really early on, but I'm kind of enjoying reverting it back to a hobby for me and for people I love. So, we'll see what happens with EB Knits in the business in the future. I have some ideas of transforming it or, guiding it down a different path. So, we'll see. Good for my year in review. I was just going to throw a shirt on, but then I was like, no. So I'm wearing my two favorite makes of the last year. This is my ranunculus, and that was my most popular video, so probably if you're watching this, a lot of you came from that video. I made 4 of them. Myself, my mom, my sister, and my grandma all got one, and that was super special. Oh, actually, I'm not going to insert the picture, but if you can see this, I'll show it here. That's the picture of the 4 of us in our ranunculuses, so that is really special. So this is one of my favorite makes, and then this is my favorite make of the second half of the year, the shawlography, which obviously my first Stephen West, my first Mystery Knit Along, my first fingering weight project, my first shawl, so lots of firsts here, and I love it. So, over the last few nights, I've spun 2 more little thingies. I don't know the proper terminology. I took basically all the pink that I could get off of the fleece and spun it here. So this is a single, and I'm going to double ply it on itself. And then I went ahead and I was like, oh, it's still a little bit chunky, not as uniform as I would like. So this one, I purposely did a lot thinner, and I'm again going to double ply it on itself. I'm curious how much I'll get out of this, how many yards, but this is the rest of it. It's gone now. I used it all. So I'm going to double ply both of these on themselves, and hopefully it will come out amazing. Alright, so at this point the light has changed. It is now after work. I had to leave. And just a little bit of real life. I was struggling. It was twisting. I think I over twisted. It was twisting on itself, so I tried to keep it with these clips, and this is what's left to spin, and oh my goodness, I've got to get Moonlight away and distract her with something else because she is going to make this a mess. So I'll show you when this is done. If I can get it done, I can get it fixed. Okay, they're done. This is all of my fiber. This is obviously just a little thing to keep it in place. This was skein number 1, which we've already looked at. You can really tell it's a lot of thick and thin. Oh, here comes Moonlight again. This is a replay of last night. Hi, sweet girl. Or not last, yeah, whatever night it was. Anyway, last video. It's really thick and thin. I think it's overspun in some places. I did a single ply, I think it's called, for all of these, and then double plied them on themselves. This one went really easy, maybe because it's just so little yarn. I mean, I don't know, I could do the whips per inch test, but I'm guessing it's like a chunky, obviously with, like I said, already really thick and thin. So that's about 26 grams. All right. This is number 2, the pink. So this I just kind of used all the really pink fiber, or yeah, all the really pink dyed fiber that was in there. I'll move this purple. You can mess with that moonlight. Well, don't mess with it too much. This one's a little better, but again, it's really thick and thin. I think it's overspun. You just want head scratchies? Yeah, I'll give you head scratchies in a minute. So it's really thick and thin. She doesn't, so I don't know. This one's okay. I want to weigh it, and I'll let you know what it is, just to see how much, but it's a lot more fiber than the other one. So, yeah, careful with that. Hey, Mama worked hard on that. Careful. I don't know. Overall, when I was double plying it, it broke, I think, twice, and it became a huge mess, which you saw. That was my own fault. I think next time I'm not going to ply it on itself. I'm just going to do 2 different balls and ply them together, just to see how that works. Okay, and the final one, which is my favorite for sure. This is a lot of just the rest of the yarn. It's a lot more purple again. And I do still think it's overspun in some places, maybe. I mean, I don't really know what I'm talking about. These are just guesses. Oop, there's some hair. But I do think it's overspun, I think. But what do I really know, to be honest? Again, I had I had kind of resolved the tangling issue when applying it on itself, pretty much. But see, like, I think that's really, really spun a lot. But I don't know. But overall, this is still a little bit thick and thin, but a lot more uniform. Like, here's a thick piece. But for the most part, it is a pretty, what I would call thin. I don't know. Again, I have to do the wraps per inch. Maybe like a DK weight mostly, or maybe worsted. But these are just my experiments, and now I'm out of fiber. So I've got to get some more, but I also have some knit projects to finish. So we'll see. But I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably need some more. Need to make some more, but we'll see. Overall, it's just really fun and beautiful, and it's like I just like learning new crafts. So this is something exciting for me, and I'm excited to continue my process. I've watched a lot of the Jillian Eve YouTube channel. A lot of her tutorials I found to be really good and helpful so far. Even though there's only a few on a drop spindle, most of them are on a wheel. But I think the concept is still there, of course. And then, like I said many times already, twin aura knits, they're just kind of talking about what they're learning, and they're ahead of me in the learning, so I'm learning from them a little bit. Okay, weekend check-in. It is Saturday. You just saw some clips from our little adventure this week. We explored Oviedo. It's a town just north of where we live, and we just found a cute breakfast place there, which I showed you. Oh, sorry. Whatever, I'm going to leave that. Yeah, we just found that cute little breakfast place, and we walked around, and that was nice. It looks like a really cute little community area. And tomorrow we are going to explore a farmer's market here in Orlando. So we have been doing a little bit more exploring, and I'll take you along for the ride with just a few clips here and there as we explore Central Florida. I am wearing I'll put the official name in the text, but it's like the summer v-neck raglan tee or something. It's really straightforward with exactly what it is. I modified it so it does have ribbing here. The pattern doesn't call for ribbing. It's all rolled edges. And this top color is Explorer Great Barrier Reef National Park by Explorer Knits, and then the yellow mustard is just a Wool and the Gang Super Trooper wool. So it's a worsted weight sweater, and it's just a short sleeve t-shirt that I like to wear for here and out. I just treated this is my first ever hand dyed yarn that I purchased. I treated myself on my birthday one year and purchased it, and I love it so much. And I definitely recommend checking out Explorer Knits and Fibers. She has gorgeous yarn, but it is a little bit tricky to get a hold of sometimes just because she is so popular. Okay, so I have some notes that I wanted to share with you, catch you up on some of my knitting, because really I've only shown you spinning mainly in this video so far. So, and a hat. So let me just show you the next hat that I'm working on. I cast on another one. I'm pretty much just doing this on lunch breaks, or if I'm in the car, or, you know, just need a small project to pick up. So this is the February hat by Kelborn Woolens, I believe. This I think was 2019. They did a year of hats. So every month they came out with a new hat pattern, and it's all in their worsted weight yarn. This is just Lion Brand Heartland. It's acrylic worsted weight that I have a ton of gray and brown, so you'll probably see me making lots of stuff with it. But it's like several different stitch patterns, so you'll see me move on to the next one. This is a 3.5 millimeter ribbing, and I usually do a little bit bigger than that, and I really like the way the 3.5 looks. So it looks a little more structured and pretty. It has several different like stitch patterns. I think I'm ready to move on to the next one, and like I said, I'm just working on it here and there when I need a small project to keep it in my bag. So I can see myself, I think I said this earlier, or I said it in my last video, I could see myself if or when I get tired of hats, or, you know, I obviously don't wear hats here, so when I run out of people to give them to or donate to, I might explore socks, because I could see how that would be a good in your bag project as well. So anyway, that is this project. And oh, they also, I think I saw, are coming out this year with another year of hats in their bulky weight yarn line. So yeah, I would like to explore their yarn one day too, since I'm using a bunch of their free patterns. Oh yeah, I don't think I said that, but they are free. And there's a few more from that 2019 that I'd like to try, but I also am kind of just itching to get back to like that 3x1 rib hat. It was so simple and easy and rhythmic, so we'll see. Maybe I'll alternate, we'll see. Okay, so that's the hat, and now let me show you the big project I'm working on. This is a sweater for my mom. It is called a Lilling Cardigan, and I have said all this in a previous video, so sorry if you have watched that, but it is knit. I'm knitting it in the Petite Wool by We Are Knitters. This color is called Speckled Denim. It is a worsted or Aran weight yarn. It is knit bottom. It starts knit bottom up. I have finished the back panel. I did a tubular cast on. It has this beautiful lace back, and then you pick up for each front panel. So I finished this one. I hopefully will finish this one today, and then it's on to the ribbing, the button bands, and the sleeves. So I purchased this yarn from, originally when my mom, she knows I'm knitting this for her. This is like a Christmas gift or whatever, a very belated gift. I have already made this cardigan. I test knit it in August of this year, or not this year, August of 2021, so I have made this before and I really enjoyed it. And it's a pretty fast knit given that it is a heavier weight yarn. Originally when my mom picked this color, it was out of stock on We Are Knitters website, and this is the yarn the pattern calls for. I didn't use this for my version. I used a different yarn. But this yarn I purchased from someone on Etsy called 100 Hats Project, and she only had 4 skeins, and so I just bought all 4 skeins from her, and I only have one left. This is skein number 3. So I purchased 2 more. I found someone on Ravelry who was selling it, but then We Are Knitters was having a sale, and that sale price was cheaper than the Ravelry price. So, and of course I was like, oh, I can buy more yarn while I'm at it then. So that's what I did. Over this new year, Ravelry was having, or not Ravelry, We Are Knitters was having a sale. So I purchased 2 more skeins of this, which I think should be enough. The pattern calls for 5 skeins for the small size, which is the size I'm making. I made myself a medium. But my row gauge is off, which it was off before too. So my stitch gauge is on track. So I did make it longer than the pattern suggests by 1 full chart repeat, which is what I did for mine as well. So yes, so I think I'm going to run out of yarn. I purchased 2 more from We Are Knitters on the 2nd, and it's still processing, so I wanted to get here. I purchased some more yarn from them as well. I got some red yarn for a sweater that's been on my mind for a long time, which you'll see when it comes in, and some cotton, because I had to round it up to $90 because that's when the free shipping was. So, any excuse to get more yarn. I had some more that I was contemplating for other projects, like the bling bling yarn that looks really pretty, but to make a sweater quantity of that I would have had to buy a lot more, and it would have gotten over $100, and I just didn't want to do that right now because I don't know. I have a few project quantity yarns already, so I just feel like I don't need to keep piling on right now. I also wanted to mention I was going to wait till this came in, but I don't know when that's going to be, and I might forget. So while I'm sitting here, I'll just talk about my thoughts on We Are Knitters. I have never technically purchased from them. My first ever sweater I made was a sweater kit from them that I requested for Christmas. My mom purchased it for me several years ago. It was the buttercream sweater, and I was kind of left wanting more with that, which is why I haven't really gone back to We Are Knitters at all. But I went here because this is what the pattern called for, and I wanted to be nice for my mom. So the pattern was a beginner pattern, but it was very, 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 very minimal. And I just felt like, something claiming to be a beginner pattern, should have a lot more tips, suggestions, advice, and it didn't have that. It was really basic. So, yeah, that's just why I haven't gone back to We Are Knitters. And I do think, well, at least in my mind, Wool and the Gang and We Are Knitters are pretty similar companies. And I do like Wool and the Gang. I've never bought a kit from them, but I have purchased their yarn. I like their yarn. I've reached out to their customer service. They answer you very quickly. Their yarn ships pretty quickly. So I'm very impressed with that, and I've just never seen the need to try We Are Knitters until, like I said, this sweater, and this was the yarn my mom selected, so that was why I purchased it this time. But those are just kind of my thoughts. I know lots of people love them, and I'm sure if I lived in a closer country to where they are. Wool and the Gang also has a U.S. warehouse, I know, and I assumed We Are Knitters did, but maybe they don't. Maybe this yarn is coming from Europe. I don't know. So, we'll see when it gets here. Those are my We Are Knitters brief thoughts. So yeah. Okay, next thing on my list, I have a little list of things I wanted to share with you because I had time in the daylight to sit down and talk with you today, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned some things. Oh, and the final thing was just some new podcasts that I found. So I've really enjoyed watching people's 2021 year in review, 2022 plans, and as I explained to you before, I don't really have a lot of 2022 plans, but I really like seeing the 2021 wrap-ups and what people have made in a year. So I found a few new ones. The Harry Knit is a woman based in Southeast Asia. She actually lives in a country I've never even heard of. I had to Google it, and so that was really cool and interesting. And I think she's a big YouTuber. Like, she has another mainstream channel, and then this is her new knitting channel. So she only has a few episodes right now. And where she lives, she said, is close to the equator. So I also am intrigued to keep following her just to compare like what we're knitting, since we both seem to live in warmer weather climates. The second person I've just recently followed, Tiffany Liu, who she has 50,000 followers, and she just started her YouTube channel in beginning of 2021. So I was like astounded because that's amazing. So she's very popular. I had never heard of her, but came across her. She had a video of everything she made in 2021. So I have watched a few more episodes since, and she has this cardigan that she emulated that I guess Kendall Jenner had worn, and it's so beautiful. I think I want to try and make it as well, just use her little tips and tricks that she had in her YouTube video. So that's another recommendation. These are both women in their 20s that are knitting, so I do love that aesthetic too, where someone I find more relatable in terms of age and style. Another one I tried, and I only watched one episode, it was kind of their 2021 review again, was Needles at the Ready, which I've heard of a lot, especially from the grocery girls. I've just never given them a chance. And so that's two men knitters. I have never watched their channel, or really any men's channel, to be honest. So they were very entertaining though, and I will probably continue watching them. Okay, finally I also found, two more. Knits Alright, which they haven't uploaded in like 5 months, but I think they started their podcast during the pandemic, and it's just two friends, again, around in their 20s, that are knitting, and they knit some products that I really like. The ranunculus. One of them knit the Rambling Woman's Jacket by Caitlin Hunter, which has been on my list for ages. I just need to get the courage up to do all of that color work. But I did buy the pattern about a year, maybe 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago. So that has been on my list for a long time. So I really like what they're making. And finally, Taylor E. Owen, who again I just discovered, but I really like her specifically because she really talks about where she gets her fibers and yarns from, and she is very purposeful, it seems, when sourcing her yarns and her fibers from local companies to her, or at least US made, and that's something that I'm interested in, is just like knowing where my yarn is coming from, researching these businesses and knowing who I'm supporting, and I want to continue to do that in 2022 and beyond. So those are some new podcast suggestions that I just recently found and wanted to share with you as well. Alright, I will see you in the next clip. I just made it home from the East Orlando Farmers Market, and it was really cute. Hey, Moonlight wants attention. She's being naughty. Just got home. It was really small. There was just 2 rows of vendors, but it was cute. I'm glad I went, checked it out. Silly me, forgot my wallet. Otherwise, I probably would have purchased a few things. So maybe it's best I didn't have it, but for my wallet, for my money at least. But yeah, I really liked some soy candles that were handmade. There were some vendors that weren't handmade, and then there were most of them, probably half and half or so. Some candles, and then of course some produce, but that looked kind of picked over. Some essential oils, and then there was some really cool like plants, and then there was one plant and body skincare like combined stand, so I was curious to find out more about that, but I feel a little bit weird and bad checking things out when I don't have a way to like support them with their time. So yeah, there were some really cute spots, and maybe I'll be back next week or sometime in the future. Also, I am wearing my Camaro sweater by Tanis Fiber Arts. Alright, here is a progress update for you. It's all done except for the sleeves, so I seamed it on the sides, onto the sleeves in the round. You pick up for the collar first, then the button bands on each side, and I did add horizontal buttonholes here. And so the only thing I'm a little bit feeling away about is this right here. Don't think it looks great, but I think blocking or if it needs to be just like sewn under like that will be better. So yes, only sleeves to go. I do have this much left so about 3/4 of a skein, I would say, of this ball, so that should be enough for at least to start the sleeves, hopefully get one done maybe. And then the package finally shipped, so that is supposed to be here tomorrow, hopefully, with the rest, with 2 more balls of this yarn. So I don't think I'll need 2, but we shall see. I'll definitely have enough. So yeah, so this is the front, and then this is upside down, but this is the back. That's the bottom, and this is the top up here. So yeah, it's a really simple cardigan with just some fun lace on the back side. And there is an option for embroidery here. I don't think my mom will like that option, and I actually originally was definitely going to do it. That's what drew me to the sweater in the first place, was the embroidery and the lace when I was making my own. But then when I finished it, I just thought it was so stunning, and I love the buttons I chose for the front. That was my little added extra detail. So I did not do that embroidery for mine either. But yeah, that is the update on this Lilling cardigan. Okay, hello, and see you later. I am signing off for the mid-January vlog, and this is like literally the 7th time I've tried recording this. It keeps stopping, so I don't know what's up, but I'm going to wrap this up. And I did want to share a few things before I go. My parents are coming to visit in mid-February, so I have a deadline for their little gifts. My mom's sweater, which she messaged me about last night. She's like, don't stress about it, don't worry. The only thing I was stressed about was getting the new yarn, the yarn. I'm not stressed at all about finishing. That'll be fine. Moonlight is drinking some water if you hear slurping in the background. Okay, and then for my dad, I will show you in the next vlog what I'm going to be making for him, and I'll make sure to share all the updates with you. That is, let's see, was there anything else I wanted to share? I did finish a book in the last few weeks. So in the end of December, I don't think I shared, I finished a book called His Only Wife, and that was a book, the main character is a woman who was set up, it's actually based, it's in Ghana, and these are both fiction books I'm about to talk about, but it's based in like this time period, and it's a woman in an arranged marriage. And I just found it interesting because, well, one, arranged marriage has never been part of my culture in any way, but especially in this day and age, I always associate it with like decades ago, but no. So anyway, that was a good book. My only thing is that it felt like it took a little while to get to the climax of the book. I felt like that was basically the end, and then like the epilogue or the last chapter was after that, is how I felt at least. But the second book I read was called The Chicken Sisters, and this is definitely like just like a, sorry, Moonlight hit the tripod. Moonlight. So it was called The Chicken Sisters, and these are both Reese Witherspoon Book Club picks. That's how I find a lot of my books, and that was definitely more lighthearted. It's just 2 sisters, please stop, Moonlight, 2 sisters who have chicken restaurants in the same town, and they're competing in a food wars show. So just a fun book. So those are my couple of book recommendations, and I think that is it. This is a sweater I made, the Tana turtle tank. I always say I want to make a different one in different yarn because I don't like this yarn that much. And then these are my sun hats. I have purple, and then these are my grandma's, hot pink and white. So they are all here. I have one more in mind to kind of mix these 3 colors together in one, and hopefully one day I'll be able to display them independently, not on just one hook. So I am going to head off for this January update, but stay tuned. The next few weeks I'll show you what I finished the sweater, show you what I'm making for my dad, and we'll see whatever I get up to next. So thank you for being here. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you don't mind. It means a lot to me. I do want to hopefully grow this community and just see where it takes us. So again, thank you for being here, and I'll see you later.